long time no actual traditional video. So I'm just gonna start by kind of warming up because I haven't done much today. And I've been mostly just doing a lot of painting on my iPad. So usually before I do anything from pictures, I draw from my imagination. So yeah. I don't know why, but it just makes it turn out a little bit better and I get more from it if I just half warm up my brain before warming up my hand, I guess. I don't know. That creaking, if you hear it, is my fan. Ceiling fan. My hand's really itchy. I don't think you can see, but I have like little bumps all over because I have a sun allergy. I've been outside a bunch lately. So my sister and I, if you've read any of the descriptions, specifically on my more recent digital time-lapse of Casbrecker, we started a YouTube video for a small business. It's called Bruce Bruce Hollow LLC. And it's just for our little Etsy shop. And yeah, start a YouTube channel. We were trying to get videos going for that. We were dyeing onesies and screen printing on them. Some designs that I had done. And also cups and things like that we usually make. We've got like beer steins and regular mugs and whatever. So that's kind of why I had to drop my channel a bit. I only have so much time. I also had to basically finish chapter 6 of our comic, which was really sad. I just finished it and I have to leave it there until work ends because I had so much stuff to do for our business. Lots and lots of designs. So we wanted to get as much out as we could. And because we kind of got jerked around a lot on when we were going to start actually working. It was always a pain. We didn't know how much time we had exactly, so. My sister actually wrote like a whole paper of ideas. And some of the ones in pencil are ones I added later on. That's where I've been. this one cat. Well, it's not really ours. We just kind of take care of some stray cats that come to our yard. And it seriously sounds like it's going, hello? Hello? When it meows. Oh my gosh. It's a little irritating sometimes. Got some going crazy out here because we have some kittens. That our dog really wants to be friends with, but the mom wants to put him 6 feet into the ground, so he keeps his distance. I have an old pencil sketch under here that I just rubbed out with a kneaded eraser. Because I don't have any of my big ones in here. I think I left them on the kitchen table. And it keeps confusing me as to where I'm drawing. Let's have a little bit of room down here, so I know I'll go back to it even when the video's finito, but I actually love drawing like this, just like from my imagination, scribbling something out quickly before I can think about it. I used to feel kind of bad about it because, you know, it's a little messy. It's more clear than it used to be. Because I used to use the program Mischief, and then I had a small Intuos. And that's what I did. Like, a bunch of my drawing on a bunch of my practice. I do backgrounds like that too, where I would just spend, I don't even know how many hours, just kind of on my bed, drawing, staring at my laptop screen for all that time, scribbling out stuff. Kind of nice because when I started really believing that I might do something with art way back in the day, I actually thought that I was gonna be like a portrait artist or something, even though I'm not like mad into portraits, but I just thought that was the only way you could actually make money off of art. So I drew like a lot of realism, drew a lot from photographs, but then when I would sit down and try to draw from my imagination, which was more important to me personally, because I've always liked making stories and characters and drawing moments, I couldn't make it look nice. I couldn't make it look the way that I wanted it to. So I started just telling myself, I'm really behind. I don't even know how to catch up to all these people that knew forever that what they wanted was to draw from their imagination. Started looking a lot at artists that I liked, which it wasn't vast at the time, because like my family didn't get internet until I was, how old was I, man? 11? Maybe? And I could be wrong there, but I think it was like 11. And even then we weren't really supposed to be on the internet for more than an hour each because I have so many siblings and we had dial-up. So it would cut off all of the phone line and everything to use it. So we'd only use it for like an hour each. I would watch some drawing videos here and there. But what really got me excited was always comics. Because when I was really young, there was a tiny shop on Main Street of our town. There's not a lot of shops. There's not even really a lot of places to eat or anything here. And my older brother, went in, and at the time, I think it was like a comic shop and game shop, which is weird to think about something like that being here. And he bought us a comic that was not age appropriate, but I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. I felt like I was there. I'm like, this is it. Like, this is like the ultimate form of art and storytelling. I mean, that was way back. Way before I had made the decision to focus more on drawing from my imagination. And yeah, I would always think back to that, weirdly, and it never occurred to me because I'm a little dense sometimes. I always think I have to do something, and so I don't let myself think of what I want to do, or I definitely was that way back then. Now I'm a little bit more like stuck on what I want. And yeah, so I would just sit for hours and scribble things like this, no reference, and then look at something and be like, where did I mess up the proportions, and where's the face wrong, and why is this weird and skewed, which I didn't realize at the time was my vision. Then I got glasses and that kind of helped. So yeah, it was weird. It was a weird sudden change. And I just thought I needed as much mileage as possible. Which I half disagree with. I do think mileage is super important. But I also think doing more... For me personally, this is not me giving advice. Doing more study with thought. Where do I need to improve? What do I want to do? How do I need to do that? Making comparisons to reality. Why is this drawing so stiff? How do I add movement? Well, it got dark. Things like that. And then hitting those areas, like when you go into actually doing figure drawing, what do I want from it? How do I exaggerate it? And just practicing those things during that session, I think was something that was really hard for me to learn. But when I started doing it, it made a bigger difference than anything else that I had really done. But I do think mileage has something to do with my learning. I have to fail a lot and get comfortable with it, which is something that I struggle with. I have this thing where I think everyone kind of does, maybe to a degree, but I really don't like to look stupid. And I always feel like if I can't do something well, people are going to think that I'm like ignorant on the topic, which, I mean, kind of, but being new to something doesn't make you dumb. I think I needed to change my mind and kind of get more excited about the fact that it meant that I had so much more to learn. I had more to go into. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna resonate with absolutely anybody. Just talking. But I love doing this. Obviously I get lost in it because it's already been almost 30 minutes of me just scribbling. So I might have to cut down on some of this, even though I wanted more real time. I personally really like real-time videos. I like knowing how long stuff takes. But yeah, I think there's a lot that your mind can actually pick out on its own. It just gets used to it and then it sees the issues and then you can adjust. And sometimes you're seeing a problem, like you know something's wrong and you're just like, bro, I have no idea how to fix this. I actually have no idea. I know it's wrong. I know something is wrong. But I couldn't tell you, even if I could tell you kind of what it was, there was times when I didn't have a solution. I couldn't make it look better. I couldn't fix it because I didn't have everything I needed. I just knew that it was just wrong, which was very frustrating. I think that was the part that was the most frustrating. And then whenever I got into painting, because I just felt like it was super important to figure out how to work with color, because I was mainly black and white or working in pencil, because I mean we didn't have tons of cash when I was a kid. So I never really thought of having anything other than pens and pencils whenever I was drawing, and a notebook. I was quite a bit older by the time I got an actual sketchbook. I treated it very preciously. That fancy paper, clearly much different from a notebook. You know, I still love my notebooks because I could write in them and draw in them. Kind of why I want to improve like my binding, my book binding stuff, because I'd love to make my own sketchbooks. I've even thought of getting a disc punch and doing disc binding. because that seems easy. You can move the pages around and add in like whatever paper you want, as long as you have a strong enough punch. So yeah, I think we have a little bit more in this corner. Is this boring? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it's boring. You can catch me in this corner. I don't know, I'll just draw some quick little dudes. I'll just adjust them later, maybe? I think this pose right here is a pose I draw a lot, that I've always drawn. Sometimes I'll like turn it and whatever. And I must have seen it gesture drawing, because there's something about it that shows up over and over again in my head. And I have this thing with words and certain images that stick with me, like the feeling of them and everything. Like I watch a movie or read a book and something about it's like burned into my mind because the feeling that it gave me was important, I guess, or made sense to me on a deep level. So yeah, they'll stick with me. They'll really stick with me. I can quote them word for word, and if it's a picture, I can see it and spin it in my head. Not always. It's not foolproof or anything. But I think it's not necessarily with the words, but with the pictures. I think that's something that I learned from constantly drawing from my imagination, which I'm clearly not perfect at, but I enjoy it. It's relaxing. Battery's gonna die. It's okay. Didn't have very much battery when I started, but I have 2 others charged. I don't know, I just thought maybe it would be interesting to see some of my warm-up. I usually do this, and I draw from pictures. Now I'm realizing how much time I probably actually spend doing that. I always feel like people will find this maybe boring. It's so relaxing to me. So. Yeah, but I just thought I'd share it, because sometimes people say something will be boring, and it's one of my favorite parts of the process. Monocle. always apologize for randomly saying things. Maybe don't make sense to you, but they do in my head. Because I'm generally very tired. So I just feel like everyone should work under the assumption that I am constantly exhausted, and maybe I just don't make sense anyway. How about that one? Also, please feel free to ask me questions if you want. It doesn't have to be about drawing, it can be about anything, or not even drawings, you can tell me stuff. I don't mind. Lots of people always say they find me intimidating, and I don't really know why. Maybe it's because I'm generally quiet. Maybe that's spooky. Okay, so we have done a quick sketch page, a back of my older sketches, I guess. So I have loads of those, and I didn't want to waste the paper. Sometimes even turned around drawing those empty bits. So now I might just switch into maybe doing something in my sketchbook. Do more of those that I just did, but I don't know how interesting it will be. Sometimes I turn them into actual characters. But, well, not actual random characters, but my characters. These pages are really long. It's bigger than 8.5 by 11. I can't remember the exact dimensions right now, but they're a pain to get clipped back to this board. It's my only long clipboard. So still working in this orange sketchbook. Got loads of like random stuff in it now. It's empty stuff. That's the last one I did. So we're working on this weird guy. I'm working on the next page from that. I did one side of the book and then the other. I think I mentioned before. And I did the last sketchbook tour thing. I have to clip that. Okay, I'm gonna change this battery and then we'll start again.